All right, now that we're inside Google Tiltbrush, let's go over a few different things we can do with our drawings and kind of just a brief overview of the different menus. So just look down at your controllers after you get into that main area over there. So the first thing that's going to pop up is going to be featured sketches from other artists who have drawn things using Google Tiltbrush that they've uploaded. You'll see an option here for browsing Poly, which is Google's website where people have uploaded their own images, kind of like these featured sketches, which they've made using Google Tiltbrush or other 3D modeling programs even. And you can actually view those in VR by selecting this option and going to their website. But we're not going to mess around too much with that because it doesn't really, it's not exactly what Google Tiltbrush is about. Google Tiltbrush is more for creating your own drawings. Of course, these are some options if you do just want to look at other people's artwork as well. And so then you have a selection that you can pick down here for your own sketches that you've made and saved previously. Just use right trigger. So this trigger back here, you'll see. So use right trigger on this remote to select once you've gotten in here. That's the only button you need to really worry about on this controller. And then again, pointing is with this controller as well on your menu. So then featured sketches brings back to what it was already up. Liked sketches, I haven't liked anything. And you don't really need to worry about signing in unless you want to, if you already have an account or want to create an account for Poly. So then go over to New Sketch. So New Sketch is what we're going to mostly be focusing on. So the first menu you're going to see is kind of our main settings menu. It's going to have a few other options as well. So I'll just go I'll go top left here and we'll go from there. So your eraser is going to be obviously your option for erasing with this controller, this right controller here, for when you've already made some art, and we'll practice that in a minute. Over here is a straight edge for making nice clean lines with your art instead of just kind of waving your controller around and drawing. The dropper tool is for selecting colors that you might have already used in your art piece. Mirror mode is going to duplicate what you're drawing along an axis. If you want to make a nice even face or something like that, that's the same on both sides. Your camera is going to be for taking snapshots of what you've already created. Forward, back are very similar to any other art program as far as deleting or undoing and redoing what you've already drawn. You can click this environment to change the environment that you're in. So right now we see those mountains in the background, but if I were to click space, now we're in space. And so it just really depends on what kind of art you're trying to make. You can select an environment for that. Then teleport is actually pretty handy because you can view your art piece. There's only, even though you do have room space to walk around and to practice with, or use the Vive headset to walk around with and move around your art piece, you can use teleport to get even further away from your art piece or to move to a different spot to start drawing again. And so you can just use use right trigger to teleport. Once this teleport wheel is popped up, you can see the arc of where you're going to be teleported to on this right controller as well. And so this will only pop up once the teleport option is selected. If you want it to go away, just go over the menu option again and push trigger. So your sketchbook, that's going to pull back this menu that you've already seen. To get away from the menu, just push the X there. Delete, save, upload, these are going to be options once I've already drawn something. And so let's get into drawing real quick. So using the big circle button that you can see behind these menus over on my left controller here, you can kind of see my thumbprint of where I'm touching on the pad. If you look behind the menu, that's the rotating menus there. And so you use the big circle button as a touchpad to kind of rotate through the different menus that you can select from. And so that's the main thing you're going to be doing with this left controller, is using the trackpad on the left controller, the big circle trackpad. And then again, right controller is going to be the main thing you're going to be doing with this is your trigger. So again, once you've rotated over to color from this menu you were at before, you can select a color that you want to be drawing with, and that color will also be applied to the controller, so you can kind of see what color will pop up. So it's pink right now on the controller, the lines and stuff. If I were to go green, it's green. So that's the color I'm going to be drawing with. And then of course you can change a few other settings as well on that to affect the color. And here is I guess the main event, your brushes. This is what you're going to be drawing with. So right now I have selected light. And so with light, hold down trigger in your right hand and just drag across your screen. And you'll be able to see your art. And it's not just on a 2D plane, it's going to be in 3D. So kind of look at that real quick. So you can kind of look around and see that our art is now in 3D. It's not just a 2D plane that we're drawing in, we're drawing in 3D. So that color is going to appear in the 3D space from this right controller wherever this little tip is once we start holding down that trigger. And so you can also draw in a few other different brushes, which are really cool. So stars is going to make some stars starting to appear, and those will persist. Using these left and right arrows down here, we can select a few more brushes. So just go ahead and use those to draw in or to see a bigger variety of different brushes you can use. So lights, so we can have our Christmas lights pop up, I guess. So another thing you can do is on the right controller, you have a touchpad on that one as well. So the touchpad on the left, again, is for rotating through the menus. The touchpad on the right, though, you can use, if you want to change the thickness. Again, swipe left and right with this controller as well. You can change the thickness of your lines or of what you're drawing with. And so if you want something bigger, try to demonstrate this well. So if you swipe more to the left, it's going to be a smaller line. More to the right, your lines are going to be bigger. So here's a little demonstration of that. So when it was on the right, when you swipe all the way to the right side, it's going to be the biggest size possible brush. If you swipe all the way to the left, it's going to be the smallest size possible to get more detail into it and stuff like that. All right. So this next setting that you might want to use, maybe not. It's kind of more just for fun than really for making the artwork do anything or for making your own artwork. The audio reactor is going to make the art that you've drawn react to different music you might be playing on your computer. And so you can click the audio reactor, and once you turn that on, it's going to be looking for audio. And so go to your computer and turn on some music, a YouTube video or whatever. And if you play some music on there, once it finds the audio, it's going to start kind of reacting to it. So you can see this music is making the art kind of dance, kind of react to what it's hearing. And so again, just to turn that back off, once you don't need to use the reactor anymore, go ahead and just click this button to turn it off again to keep on drawing and doing your own thing. That's what the audio reactor is for, just if you ever want to use that. But that wraps up everything you're going to need to know for Google Tiltbrush once you're already in the application. So yeah, thanks for watching the tutorial, and feel free to use it again. Go back to the video if you need to remember how to use a certain setting, or to do something else in Google Tiltbrush. But that's the basics of Google Tiltbrush. Again, once you are in the application.